a young amateur football team, the Wild Boars. Until June 23rd, no one really knew about this team, but suddenly they were on the world's agenda. Every news channel started talking about them. And this fame wasn't because of how well they played football, but because they were trapped underground at an average depth of 3,300 feet.
Good afternoon. Reports from northern Thailand say at least
12 boys from a youth soccer team decided to explore a cave in Thailand.
12 boys and their soccer coach from a flooded cave where they've been trapped.
That morning, everything started normally, just like other days. After the Wild Boars finished their training, the head coach left the team with the 25-year-old assistant coach and went out because he had to attend some meetings for the football club. The head coach had left his phone on the table. When he came back, he saw countless missed calls on his phone. All the parents were asking the same thing: where are our children? After training, the team had set off with the assistant coach to a nearby cave because it was one of the boys' birthdays and they thought it would be a fun idea to explore the cave on this special day. Including the assistant coach, these 13 amateur players checked the weather first. It looked mostly good, only a small chance of rain in the afternoon. Then they entered the cave. Tam Luang Cave is a huge cave, 6.2 miles long in total. In many parts it's hard to move forward. There are inlets, narrow passages, and tunnels. There was even a sign at the entrance that said visiting was forbidden from July to November because of monsoon rains. The most interesting part was this. No one in the group had real caving experience, and yet they went into such a difficult cave. Most of the team were boys between 11 and 16. Only the assistant coach was 25. As they went deeper, they passed the rough areas and descended further into the cave. But outside, things started to go wrong. Heavy rain began. Because it was close to the monsoon season, the rain got stronger and stronger. What everyone feared happened. Water started entering the cave. Parents started to panic outside, and then a bit of information appeared. 13-year-old Songpon, a member of the team, had left the others after training and gone straight home. He told people that his teammates were planning to go to Tam Luang Cave. When the parents and the head coach reached the cave area, they saw the bikes standing at the side and understood that the whole team was inside. And this was very scary because the rain was getting worse. They immediately called the police and rescue teams, but the situation was more serious than they thought. Tons of water were entering the cave and making it impossible to go further inside. If this continued, the lives of those inside would be in danger. From the abandoned bicycles and personal items outside, it was clear they were already trapped. This was not a problem that could be solved without professional help. At that moment, someone appeared who knew details about the cave that nobody else knew. This man wasn't Thai. He was a British citizen and did cave dives. He started to share what he knew about Tam Luang, a cave he had entered many times. But after going in from the entrance, the cave split into two arms at a T-junction and then continued more than 10 kilometers deeper. The British man, Vernon, connected the local authorities with the British cave rescue team, because these two men were among the best in the world in cave diving and difficult rescues. After the invitation, they immediately set off to join the rescue. By then, news had already spread to the media worldwide. Now, one big question was on everyone's mind, because this was just a casual trip. Did the boys have any food? And how were they going to survive? Because the search had started 2 days earlier on June 23rd, and because of heavy rain it had been stopped by June 25th. expert divers from all over the world started coming to the rescue area, and new strategies were being made. The search efforts, which had been paused for about 8 days, started again on July 2nd when the weather improved a little. During this time, the boys hadn't been able to move to another place from the small spot they were in, and that was terrifying. The rain kept increasing and slowed down the work of the search teams. In Tam Luang, with mud rising from the ground, moving forward became impossible. You could only move by feeling your way with your hands. In this hard-to-move cave, when the British divers John and Richard went deeper, they found the boys' food and sandals, and even their footprints. This was a strong sign that they were on the right path, and that the boys might still be alive. Despite the strong current and narrow passages, they kept going, and when John lifted his head above the water, he suddenly saw a light. Yes, all the boys had been found alive. There was even a short conversation between the British divers and the boys.
Thank you. How many of you? They're all alive. 13? Yes. Brilliant. Yeah.
Backpack is we go inside.
No, not today. Not today. There's 2 of us. You have to dive. We are coming. It's okay. It's okay. Many people are coming. Many people. We are the first. Many people come.
The whole world watched in joy, but the rescue team was still under stress. Because from the cave entrance to the Pattaya area where the boys were, it was 2.5 miles, and getting there took 3 hours. Now it was time to put a real rescue plan on the table. These were the options and their risks. First option, dig down from above the cave and open a way, then rescue them from there. But it was not possible to dig through those rocks in a short time with the equipment available. Also, the existing technology had trouble locating the exact spot from that distance. Second option, give the boys quick diving lessons and get them ready. But in such a short time, you can't teach cave diving, something that requires a lot of knowledge and experience. Third option, wait until the end of October for the monsoon season to finish, and then do the rescue. This option needed more than 2 months, and the oxygen level inside was already dropping. Also, because no one could predict how much rain would fall, the boys could even drown while waiting inside. Of course, the rescue operation we're describing wasn't totally safe for the rescuers either. On July 5th, 37-year-old Saman Kunan made a dive from Chamber 3 to carry air tanks to the next section. But on the way back, his oxygen ran out and he lost consciousness. His partner found him and quickly brought him back to Chamber 3. First aid was given, but it was too late. The first death had happened. This news made the already tired rescue team even more anxious. But there was no option to pull back, because on July 8th, a scary weather report arrived. The monsoon was moving into the area and would fill the cave with water until the end of October. After looking at many options, the experts decided on this. They would sedate the boys, put them to sleep, and give them calming medicine to keep their heart rate steady and to prevent panic. Then, with a face mask on each boy, a responsible professional diver would guide them through the dangerous parts and bring them outside. But there was a problem. The Australian doctor, Harris, who was giving medical advice, said the drug wouldn't keep them asleep for the whole rescue. Another dose would have to be given in the rescue zones, because if a child suddenly woke up, he could panic and endanger both himself and the rescue diver. Also, putting them to sleep was very risky. The boys could swallow their own saliva and choke, But after a while, when the Australian doctor saw that the other options couldn't be done, he accepted the sedation plan. Diplomatic immunity was given to Dr. Harris and his team in case things went wrong. They wouldn't be held responsible for an unwanted outcome. The operation began and 4 British divers moved toward the Pattaya area where the boys were found. 2 Australian divers and finally 1 Irish professional also joined this lead team. Their task was to pass through the flooded, difficult parts, take the boys from the Pattaya area, and deliver them to the other waiting rescue and medical teams in the safe zones. The lead team put a diving suit, life jacket, safety harness, and a positive pressure face mask on each boy. Then they started injecting the anesthetic drugs with syringes to make them sleep. Because visibility was so bad that you couldn't even see your own hand, from time to time the lead diver would check the boy he was escorting and watch for bubbles to see if he was breathing. When passing through narrow sections, they carried the boys extra carefully so the masts wouldn't hit the rocks and get damaged. The operation was going well. Every 45 minutes, 1 boy was delivered to a safe area. From there, another team carried him on a stretcher to another point. Then he was sedated again, put back into diving gear, and taken through the next flooded section. With this method, on the first day, 4 boys were rescued. On the next day, July 9th, another group of 4 boys was taken out. And finally, on July 10th, the last 5 people, including the assistant coach, were brought out of the cave. Yes, this terrifying entrapment ended with a happy result. The families were reunited with their children and everyone could breathe again. Of course, this terrible event could have caused some health problems for the boys. For example, in such dark and humid places, there are 2 deadly infections. The first is histoplasmosis, a fungal infection that spreads from bat droppings in caves. It can cause large lesions in certain parts of the body and lead to bleeding in the lungs, which can be fatal. Another name for this disease is cave disease. The other risk factor was leptospirosis, an infection that spreads by contact with rodent urine or droppings. It causes changes in the eyes, muscle pain, fever, and can lead to kidney failure. Thankfully, the worst did not happen, and after the tests came back negative, the families were slowly allowed to see their children again. Now, with a simple calculation, about 420,000 gallons of water per hour was pumped out. This gave about a 0.6-inch advantage during the rescue. To help you imagine this amount of water, 1 Olympic pool is 165 feet long, 82 feet wide, and 9.8 feet deep. Imagine 400 of those pools. So what was happening outside? As you might guess, pumping out that much water made some of the farmland outside unusable. And even a year after the rescue, a Navy officer, Beirut Pakbara, died because of complications from the blood infection he got in the cave. The tragedy ended happily for the families of the rescued boys, but for some people it did not. Some of the rescued boys were not Thai citizens because of the laws in that region, but the government rewarded them by giving them citizenship 6 months after this difficult process. The assistant coach was criticized by some people in the community because he had taken the team there. He apologized for what happened. According to the investigation, during the time they were trapped in the cave, he used meditation to keep the boys calm. This showed again how powerful meditation can be when it is done regularly. The boys' health returned to normal. Only one boy, after going to England, later fell into depression for other reasons and died by suicide at the age of 17. After the incident, the government quickly closed the cave area to visitors. But later, because millions of people became interested and wanted to see the place where this great rescue happened, it was gradually open to tourism. Today, visitors from many countries go there and get the chance to see it up close. The bronze statue of the rescuer who died keeps those heroic days alive. The part of the cave where the boys were trapped is still not open to tourism, but there is talk that it will be opened with professional guides in the near future. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like the video and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the next episode.